Thomas had always been different. Born in a remote village in Nigeria, he was a child of immense curiosity and intelligence. But life had never been easy for him. At the age of 10, he lost both of his parents in a tragic accident, leaving him orphaned and alone. With no immediate family willing to take him in, he was sent to live with his uncle's family in Lagos. Life in his uncle's home was far from welcoming. His relatives saw him as a burden, treating him as an outsider rather than family. He was given the bare minimum food, shelter, and little else. While his cousins received encouragement and opportunities, Thomas was often ignored, his dreams dismissed as unrealistic fantasies. The only person who showed him kindness was his younger cousin, Ada, who admired his intellect and shared his love for learning. She would often sneak him books and defend him when others belittled his aspirations. Despite the cold treatment, Thomas found solace in knowledge, spent hours at the local library consuming every book on science, mathematics, and computers he could find. With no money for proper resources, he scavenged discarded electronics from junkyards, teaching himself how to repair and modify them. His natural talent for coding and artificial intelligence emerged early, and by the time he was a teenager, he was already building rudimentary AI programs on outdated computers. His brilliance did not go unnoticed. After securing a scholarship, he attended one of Africa's top universities, where he dedicated himself to his studies. The long nights in dimly lit dormitories, the endless hours in computer labs. Thomas was relentless. He poured his heart into his thesis, developing a groundbreaking concept for an AI-driven life coaching system. One that could analyze a person's life and provide personalized guidance to improve their decision-making. His work caught the attention of Raymond Fisher, the founder of Neurontech, a leading AI firm in Europe. Fisher was captivated by the sheer potential of Thomas's ideas. He didn't just send a recruiter, he personally reached out, flying to Nigeria to meet the young prodigy. Over an intense 2-hour meeting, Raymond saw what others had failed to recognize. Thomas was a once-in-a-generation talent. Without hesitation, he offered Thomas a prestigious role at Neurontech. It was a dream come true. Thomas thrived at Neurontech. Within a year, he successfully developed a prototype of his AI system, Pathfinder. The AI was revolutionary, capable of predicting life choices, optimizing career paths, and even offering psychological support based on behavioral analysis. Investors were eager, and the company's stock soared as Pathfinder neared completion. Some of the employees didn't like him because of the treatment he was getting from the CEO. They saw him as a poor African child who just shy and couldn't speak the European English. Many even tried to sabotage his project, but one of his juniors started noticing and documenting everything. Thomas, however, was no ordinary employee. He was obsessed with perfection. He spent countless nights refining the system, testing algorithms, and improving its predictive accuracy. Many nights he slept in his office, exhausted but satisfied with each breakthrough. Raymond Fisher had to leave for an international AI conference in China, leaving his daughter, Sophia Fisher, in charge. Sophia had recently earned her PhD from Harvard and was determined to prove herself as a capable leader. Her first order of business: clean house. She believed the company had become bloated with unnecessary employees and wanted to remove the so-called dead weight. On the very day she was making her rounds, Thomas had fallen asleep at his desk. He had spent the entire night fine-tuning Pathfinder's final testing phase. To Sophia, all she saw was an employee slacking off. Without digging into his contributions, she fired him on the spot. His termination was swift and brutal. Security escorted him out of the building, and just like that, the company's brightest mind was gone. Shocked and humiliated, Thomas left Neurontech. He spent days in disbelief, wondering how one mistake, falling asleep at his desk, could erase all his hard work. But fate had other plans. Word of his firing spread quickly, and within days, a rival company, FutureMind, reached out with an offer. FutureMind saw Thomas for what he was, a visionary. They gave him full creative control over his project, and within 6 months, he refined and launched Pathfinder under a new name, LifeSync. The software became a global sensation, adopted by millions as their personal life guide. FutureMind's stocks skyrocketed, overtaking Neurontech in market dominance. Meanwhile, Neurontech faced trouble. With Pathfinder shelved and their most brilliant mind gone, their innovations stagnated. Investors withdrew, and stocks plummeted. The company was bleeding. When Raymond Fisher returned from China 2 months later, he was met with a crisis. As he reviewed the company's losses, he discovered Sophia's fatal mistakes. She had fired the company's brightest star. Raymond was furious. He had built Neurontech on the principle of fostering brilliance, and his daughter had undone years of progress with one impulsive decision. He immediately reached out to Thomas, pleading for a chance to bring him back. But it was too late. Thomas had found a new home at FutureMind, where his work was valued and thriving. In a final blow to Neurontech, Thomas and FutureMind unveiled an advanced version of LifeSync at the same AI conference in China, where Raymond had been just months before. The world now saw him not just as a tech genius, but as a visionary, an inspiration to millions who had come from disadvantaged backgrounds. As he stood on stage, presenting his latest breakthroughs, Thomas reflected on his journey. From a forgotten orphan in Nigeria to the face of the future in artificial intelligence, he had defied the odds. He had proven that no obstacle, not even ignorance at the highest levels, could stop a determined mind from reaching greatness. The world was his now, and he was just getting started. He then approached Mr. Fisher out of guilt and loyalty. Mr. Fisher gave him his break when no one noticed him, and he felt that the incident that happened was not Mr. Fisher's doing, but he was blindsided. Mr. Fisher helped Thomas to open his own AI firm that was contracted to Neurontech and handled all AI issues for the company. He then went back to Nigeria to get Ada and let her run the marketing for his new firm.